Hey y'all, Chuck Dunface here. Just wanted to do a quick video, talk a little bit about this guy right here. This is the Hinderer Knives Firetac. This is on loan to me from my good buddy on Instagram, JB at Geared Up Dad. I will put a link to his Instagram down in the description there. This guy right here has been one that I've wanted to check out for quite a while. This is a bit of a departure from the XM18, which is the ubiquitous Hinderer model. It has some of the same, I would say, characteristics to that model, but in a slicier, I don't know if I'd say more EDC friendly, but definitely a little different profile, carry profile from your typical Hinderer designs. The first thing you'll notice right there is the lack of a flipper tab. So no flipper tab, no external blade stops, which can also be used as thumb studs on the XM18 and the 24, but it's got this tab instead, the flipper tab, or the opening tab right there. 20 CV blade steel running on bearings. So this is the tri-way system. As you can see, if I can get the camera to focus, maybe it won't, but it is the tri-way system right there. So in the box you'll get, it'll come installed with bearings, and you'll also get a washer kit, phosphor bronze washer kit, and a Teflon washer kit as well. So you may notice right here, right off the bat, this scale, this is not a stock scale. So this is from Carbodize. The Carbodize made the scale, and it was GL Hansen's and Sons Mexican blanket micarta, which is really cool. I actually had a couple years ago when this micarta pattern first came out from GL Hansen's and Sons. I got it. I had the only ProTech SNG. I ended up, they were doing Blade Show, I think, and basically I hit him up on Instagram and I said, I really dig that, I gotta have it. And so before it even hit the show table, I ended up getting it. I've since sold it. The guy that I sold it to still has it, so that's pretty cool. So he's probably the only guy that liked it more than I did. But yeah, real good knife, real snappy action. I thank Geared Up Dad for letting me check this out. Real quick, some size comparisons. It's gonna be a little different, as you can see. Different format for the video, but I got dogs in the background. That's always fun. That one there is Bluebell. This is the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, right there. So similar size. Spyderco Native 5, so obviously it's going to be bigger than the Native 5. You know, I wish I had a XM18 to show as a comparison. But you know what? I should have asked. I don't have one anymore. I sold it. There's the very similar profile to the Chris Reeve knives Benzo right there. So I mean, it's essentially the same. Blade size, everything else, carry profile, all that. I should have asked him to send an XM18 also, because he has he has a lot of Hinderers. That's clearly his favorite brand, so he has quite a few. So I should have asked him to send me one in the box as well, and we could have kind of done, you know, a little bit of a side by side comparison with the XM18 and the Firetac, but c'est la vie. So anyway, this guy right here, it'll retail for about $425, according to Hinderer's website. The scale, I don't know how much it is. It's probably at least another $100, I would say. So you know, you'd be looking at about $525 to get this knife, you know, set up like this. If you can get a scale like this, pretty sure they're kind of hard to find. One thing you notice, like I said, no flipper tab. All right, so a lot of knives, you know, Hinderer does do some XM18s with no flipper tab. A lot of guys get them deleted aftermarket, but they typically come with a flipper tab and external stops. This one doesn't have that, so it's that thumb disc, only opening. So very cool. As you can see on bearings, when it came to me, it was a little bit loose. It was very guillotine, but there was also some blade play involved, and Geared Up Dad let me know that that was kind of the case too. But he said, I'm pretty sure you got the tools to tighten it down if you want to. So I did. He didn't send any of the other parts that come with it. So for the tri-way pivot that you can swap things out which is fine. I've had Triway XM18s before. I've never bothered switching them. You know, from a personal preference, I actually prefer older gen XM18s that have the Teflon. And what I've always done in the past with my XM18s and the Eclipse that I had is I just went on eBay and bought a set of a dozen PB washers that were the right dimension. And I went ahead and just swapped them out, and they were perfect. They're so buttery smooth after that. So that's something that I like to do with the older gens. Wish I still had that older gen Bowie XM18, but I ended up trading it and just don't have it anymore. So it is what it is. So in any case, it's obviously flicks out great, real snappy. You can do a finger flick with it too. Of course, I'm going to screw it up on camera like I just did, but you can do it. The pivot and the detent, I should say, is 100% Hinderer. It feels exactly like a Hinderer detent does. So if you're putting a little lock bar pressure on, it'll have this almost hitching, like it doesn't quite want to go, but then it flies right out. If you take your fingers off the lock bar and do it, it flies out easier. You don't get that hesitation or it's almost like when you're pulling pressing a trigger on a gun where you got to hit the wall and then you push past the wall and the trigger releases. I've grown used to that. You know, a lot of guys, they'll adjust their grip so you don't even have that. They'll put their fingers more on the away from the lock or on the pocket clip, so they don't even have to worry about it. But you know, I've grown very used to it. I kind of like that. As soon as I took it out, I was like, yeah, that's definitely a Hinderer right there. This one right here, as you can see, it's got a recurve. Definitely cool. Definitely cool. You know, recurve can add in cutting performance on draw cuts. This is a pretty shallow recurve, so I don't know if you're going to get that benefit while you're using it. But it's definitely going to make it harder to sharpen if you don't have the right tools in order to do it. Now you could probably do this with standard stones, because like I say, it's not a dramatic recurve. But me personally, if I was in the market for one of these, I'd probably go for the standard spear point, something like that, so I wouldn't have to deal with the recurve. It's just, I kind of, as much as I like them and I like the way they look, I tend to avoid recurves and knives for that reason, because I like to sharpen myself. So just something to kind of take note of. These do not stay in stock very long when they come through. They go out of stock very quickly. So I mean, that's really no surprise. So if you go to any of the, you know, the big knife retailers or anything like that, Hinderers, when they drop, they're usually gone within hours, if not less, and certainly days, unless it's something that just doesn't happen to be very popular. But, you know, DLT gets an order in, or Blade HQ, or, you know, any of the licensed Hinderer retailers, they're usually gone pretty quickly. They tend not to stick around. So, you know, if you see the opportunity to get a Firetac, you want one, or really any Hinderer, I mean, I just wouldn't hesitate, because then you're looking at, you know, getting one on the secondary. And it's not like it was years back on the secondary with Hinderers where, you know, they were selling for, you know, $200 premiums or more on the secondary market. You know, it's gotten much better. The market's softened up on them, so it's not like it's impossible to get them. But, you know, if you're looking to get it new, you don't want a used one or a secondhand one, or you want the exact configuration that you're looking for, you got to jump on them pretty quick and be ready for the drops. Other than that, you know, not a whole lot that I want to share about this. I mean, blade stock's a little bit thinner than your typical, you know, your XM18. I think those are pretty chunky boys at about 1.6, or I'm sorry, strike that, 0.16 inches thick. These come in, I think, at 0.13. So already off the bat, they're a little designed for more of a slicier EDC application. Flat grind on there. I don't know. It's not my knife. It's not mine. So I'm not, you know, put it through its paces. I mean, I'm not like a hard use or a tester guy or anything like that anyway. But, you know, it not being my knife, I've just kind of had it in my pocket for a few days and gathering my thoughts on it, because I knew I wanted to do a video on this. So, you know, thanks to Geared Up Dad for reaching out to me and saying, hey, if you want to shoot this, if you want to take a look at this, I'll send it to you. You can go do a YouTube video on it. You know, I certainly appreciate that. So, other than that, not a whole lot to kind of discuss about it. It's a cool knife, definitely something that I recommend if you like the styling of it. Just remember that, you're not going to have, it's going to have a regular G10 scale. It's not going to have anything like that. They do them in their standard finishes. You can do stone wash, you can do their anodized. This is the Battle Black anodization, same with the blade. Kind of got that DLC stone wash appearance on the back. And then you're going to have a G10, a textured G10 scale on front. You're not going to have, obviously, the micarta. That's something that you're going to have to get aftermarket from one of the guys out there making scales. Like I said, this one's from Carbonize. So really, other than that, not a whole lot to share on it. Thankful for the chance to check this one out. Go ahead and subscribe. Click that button right there in the corner. You subscribe to my channel, turn on your alerts so you get the new content. Follow me on Instagram at Chuck_Nunface. And, just give me a comment. Let me know if there's something you'd like to see. Maybe I can get my hands on it. We can do a review. Let me know if you like this format. It's a little bit different. It's a nice day outside, kind of a break from some of the cold weather that we've been having here in Southeast Texas. So figured I'd do it outside, change it up a little bit. Let me know, y'all. Hope everybody has a great one. Thanks.